going to review a fantasy romance webtoon called Heartbeat Conquest. It's more like a reverse harem story. So let's talk about Heartbeat Conquest. This webtoon, honestly, a solid 5 out of 10 for me. Let me explain why. This story revolves around a girl who dies and gets reincarnated into a harem game. Well, yep, that's the entire premise. Pretty typical, right? She wakes up, immediately realizes she's in a game because notifications pop up before her. But here's the thing. After that one notification, we never see it for the next 50 chapters. So, what was the point? Plot device for the sake of it. Now, you think after dying she'd be a little shaken or at least reflective, right? Nope. She's weirdly chill about it, even celebrating her new life without a second thought. So also the grand goal that she sets for herself in this new magical world, exploring the fantasy world, learning magic, uncovering the secrets of the world, that adventure type of story thing. Or maybe going on adventures and meeting new people. Nope. Her goal was to build a harem. Yes. Out of all possible ambitions, she decides she wants to chase after handsome men. And the wildest parts, comment sections are filled with people cheering her on. Like this is some type of empowering move. Let's be real. If a male lead had made his whole character motivation actively pursuing women like trophies, he'd be labeled as a creep and rightfully criticized. But because she's a girl, I suppose it's to be quirky and fun. Double standards match. And don't get me started on how dumb she is about it. She doesn't even bother to find out the identity of the body she is inhabiting. Just jumps straight into collecting pretty boys like Pokemon cards. Now you might think, maybe the plot and character development will make up for it, right? Maybe there's some hidden depth in the story, right? Nope. After grinding through 50 chapters, I can confidently say this plot is pure trash. The FL has zero personality. She claims she wants a harem, but she doesn't even like the men. And she treats them like decorative dolls. She doesn't love them. Hell, she barely knows them. So why does she want a bunch of handsome guys falling on her? There's no emotional depth, no believable chemistry. It's tasteless, bland, and completely unconvincing. How are people eating this up? I've read hundreds of reverse harem webtoon novels, and let me tell you, only a handful managed to pull off the romance well. In this story, there's no sensible build-up for the romance. The guys fall for her just because she's nice to them. Seriously, the bar is in hell, my dude. And what's up with this male character? Do they not interact with women at all? They act like spineless shrimps who lose sense of self the moment she smiles at them. Some people say, oh, every girl in this story is the same, but this FL is different. But she's literally acting like a baby, yet somehow she's supposed to be unique. What? She's so plain, the female lead, I mean. I didn't even bother to remember her name. Her only goal seems to be collecting a harem, and she reminds me of those supposedly pure yet manipulative female leads in villainous ones. The ones who try to brainwash men into liking them, while the villainess steps in to save the men from her. I can confidently say that if this was one of those villainous mangas, people would absolutely hate this girl to oblivion. I wish she had another hobby or passion. Does she do anything other than study and chase guys? Like, girl, what? She's constantly surrounded by men. And the author tries way too hard to make her act like one of those pure-hearted dating sim protagonists from manga, to the point it becomes unbearable. Somehow, she's never wrong. She always has portrayed as the perfect girl in everyone's eyes. And then no girl finds it weird she's surrounded by men all day. If reverse harems in this world are legal, why don't I see anyone in the school with a harem or a reverse harem? Why is she the only exception? What kind of tacky writing is this? Maybe it's just me, but when a girl in the story actively pursues men as a primary goal, it feels so boring. I prefer reverse harems where the protagonist is just being herself, interacting with everyone naturally and enjoying her school life, while the guys fall for her. I love when men admire her for her dreams or her personality, not just because she's around them all the time. Give her personality beyond chasing guys. Honestly, she acts like a tramp. If it wasn't a web novel, I bet the author would have turned it into straight up hentai. The art is undeniably beautiful. I'll give it that, but her personality feels so dry. The FL. Same goes for the boys. Why did they agree to easily join her so-called harem? They like her for the most ridiculous reasons ever. So let me explain. Some people say, okay, so the blonde-haired guy likes her because she pretends to be innocent, an innocent nice person, and he knows the real her. That's the reason why he likes her. Literally, what the flying heck. The bar is so damn low at this point to disappoint, and somehow they kissed in a few days when they had barely gotten to know each other. It was all just a few days. Like, what the hell was going on? Is the author seriously saying in this whole entire school, only she hides her intention? The FL is the only one who hides her true self. What elementary school writing is this? Next, the black-haired boy. She has been rude to him, disrespectful, lies that she liked him in his face because not once has she blushed when she says she liked him, unless she's pretending to be in innocent female lead mode. Look at all these panels. He liked her just because she looked at him that way. Are you telling me there's no other girl in the entire school who didn't have a crush on him? What is going on? What did he proclaim to be one of the most handsome? Yet somehow nobody acts like fine girls or guys. No one talks to them. And somehow all these handsome boys she's clearly dating have never dated before. And when the black haired guy is sad and crying, she takes that as him playing hard to get. How disgusting can she be? She can't even have some empathy and gently ask what is wrong, but no, she proceeds to blame the guy for not liking her advances. She likes him so much till he eventually agrees to be hers. Bro was so gaslighted he was gaslighted so much. Purple hair boy kinda liked her because he found her cute. They rarely chatted in the story, and he only liked her back because she didn't look down on him for wearing women's clothes. Ha, that's the bar, really. The fact that I've seen him wear dress without his wig to the school and walk around with her around the school and no one says anything. Meanwhile, no one means that no one actually gives a shit about what he wants. So why was he so worried? You should look at her face when she said she liked Callum. This is our female lead, a manipulative person who doesn't even like the men she wants to date. She was if she was made out to be like an evil person, I wouldn't mind that. But then the actor is trying to make her out to be the saint or this good person who is helping them. It's not working for me, honestly. I wish she had another sort of hobby or passion. Does she do anything other than study or chase guys? Like she doesn't want hobbies. Doesn't she want instruments, video games, or normal games, playing with magic? What else does she do? Like, girl, what? She's constantly surrounded by men, and the other tries way too hard to make her act like one of those pure-hearted, dating protagonists from mangas to the point it becomes unbearable. Somehow, she's never wrong. She's always portrayed as the perfect girl in everybody's eyes, and no girl finds it weird that she's surrounded by men all day. If reverse harems are legal in their world, why don't I see any other girl in their school with a reverse harem or a guy with a harem? Why is she the only exception to have an harem? What kind of tacky writing is this? Maybe it's just me, but when a girl in a story actively pursues men as her primary goal, it feels so boring. I prefer reverse harem where the protagonist is just being herself, interacting with everyone naturally and enjoying her school life. All the guys fall for her. I love when the men admire her for her dreams and for her personality, not just because she's around them all the time. Give her personality beyond chasing guys, please. Honestly, she acts like a tramp. If not for it being a webtoon, I bet the actor would have turned it to straight up hentai. The art is undeniably beautiful, but I'll give it that. That's the only thing I'll give it. But her personality feels so dry, honestly. And the same goes for the boys. They literally have no goals apart from following the FL. What is this? Like, why did they agree to easily join her so-called harem? Like, why did they mostly joined for the most ridiculous reasons I have heard. And I mentioned them above already. Now let's talk about the red-haired guy. Why does the female lead like him? Honestly, I have no idea. There is no chemistry between them at all. She doesn't do anything interesting. Yet all of a sudden he's infatuated with her and joins her harem after just a few days. Why don't they don't even share common interests? It's honestly frustrating to read. And then there's our female lead. She's so corny, it's annoying. The actor tries to paint her as this smart manipulator who makes plans to reel in men. But whenever she opens her mouth about men and how she's not thinking about a future for herself, I want to scream and pull my hair out. What is even worse, she doesn't even love this man. Oh my gosh. She just wants them around because they're handsome and interesting. The conversation between the characters is so dull. There's barely any meaningful interaction apart from her constantly scheming about the next guy she's going to pursue. What's next on her list is also tedious. Ugh. Older manga and anime handled romance so better. The characters in those stories had actual conflict. The female lead was likable not just because she was the protagonist, but because she did things that made the men care about her. Most older manga or anime heroines were either smart or naive, but they were always resilient, they were always hardworking, they were always respectful, and they had their goals. They were about studying, uncovering secrets, or personally growing themselves, and their relationships were like secondary in the story. They face challenges with the male leads and develop feelings through their experiences, like how the FL will fight, or how the male lead will fight and FL saves him, or the male lead saves her. It's so interesting to watch. Or when they fight together, or when they are going through problems together. This story, though, is honestly a complete mess. Eva has none of those qualities. How did these guys fall for her? Why is the standard so low? The female side characters in the story actually seem like nice women. So that even makes their dynamic worse. Because why are they making it like these guys? They've not been approached from any nice lady in their entire school. They have no hobbies. I mean, the FL's group, no school activities, nothing they want to talk about beside the same old men she must catch. I really can't stand the family. She treats me like they're just pieces in her game. What's worse, we never see her experiences and conflicting emotions about her actions. The guys never doubt her. They act like pathetic followers, which is pretty sad. Everybody knows about her harem, but yet no other girl in the entire school wants a reverse harem for themselves. Why does the FL have special privileges? It only shows how shallow the FL is because everybody's busy with their studies. There's only her who is catching boys. The standard is so low. They declare she shows love for them, and but the boys declared that she's showing love to them. But honestly, she's doing the bare minimum. She doesn't even get them flowers. She doesn't plan dates. She doesn't give them gifts. She doesn't surprise them with anything. And the actor is trying to make it like the attention she gives them is so rare. And it's giving a friend an attention the bare minimum. Well, that is all I have to say for this rant. Maybe I'll make it back to. Bye bye.